Welcome to my channel. Subscribe and enjoy fresh news stories every day. It started with a feeling, a cold whisper at the back of my neck telling me something was wrong. I'd always thought of myself as a trusting husband, someone who believed in the vows we made. But over the past few months, things with Emily, my wife of 10 years, had begun to change in subtle yet unmistakable ways. She had become distant, constantly glued to her phone, laughing at texts she wouldn't share. She started working late more often and suddenly took an intense interest in her appearance. She said it was for her own confidence, but it didn't feel that way. I wanted to believe her, and for a while, I convinced myself I was just being paranoid. Then I found the receipt. It was stuffed at the bottom of her purse, buried under random things. An old lip balm, a half-eaten granola bar. It was for dinner at a high-end romantic restaurant we'd never been to. Candlelight, wine, the works. When I asked her about it, she mumbled something about a work meeting, her eyes darting away like a guilty child. I didn't push her then. I could have, but something told me to wait. I decided to get proof. I started paying attention, watching her patterns. She was overly protective of her phone, always tilting the screen away from me. But I was patient. Eventually, I noticed a number that kept popping up at all hours. Text that read, "Can't wait to see you and Missy today." The name saved in her phone was Jenna, but I knew better. One evening, while she showered, I used a passcode I'd memorized weeks ago to unlock her phone. My hand was shaking as I scrolled through the messages. That's when I saw them. Messages from someone named Ryan. Flirty, intimate, unmistakably romantic. He told her she made him feel alive. She told him she missed him. Couldn't wait for their next lunch meeting. My chest felt like it was caving in. I wanted to burst into the bathroom, scream, demand answers. But I didn't. I wasn't interested in a dramatic fight. I wanted her to feel what I was feeling, betrayal, loss, and humiliation. So I planned. Emily had been hyping up a big presentation at work. A new client, a startup she was excited to land. It was happening downtown, and she'd spent weeks preparing. That morning, I kissed her goodbye, wished her luck, and watched her leave, all smiles and confidence. I wondered if she kissed Ryan the same way. As soon as she left, I got to work. I ordered a flower delivery box and printed out the text messages she'd sent and received from Ryan. I added a note in my handwriting. "You're not as clever as you think." Then I headed downtown and parked outside the building where her presentation was being held. I watched from the car as she stood confidently at the front of the room in her sleek black dress. The delivery arrived right on time. 10 minutes later, I saw her expression freeze as she opened the box. Her hands trembled as she pulled out the printouts. The room around her fell into stunned silence. The clients exchanged looks, clearly confused and concerned. I didn't stick around for the aftermath. I had another stop to make. Ryan. I'd done my homework on him, too. He worked with Emily, was married, had 2 young kids. I found his address, his wife's social media, even the school their children attended. I considered reaching out to his family directly, but instead I chose something more immediate. Later that day, I followed Emily to the coffee shop, where she and Ryan usually met. I sat at a table near the back and waited. She didn't notice me when she walked in, nor did Ryan when he arrived. They sat close, speaking quietly. Emily looked rattled, desperate. That's when I stood up and walked over. "Ryan, right?" I asked. He looked up, confused at first, then terrified. Emily turned to me, pale and speechless. "Who the hell are you?" Ryan asked, trying to sound tough. I dropped a stack of photos onto their table. Pictures of him and Emily together at hotels, outside bars, laughing in his car. "I'm the husband," I said, "the one you both have been lying to." Emily reached for my arm, crying, "David, please. Let's talk about this at home." "Oh, we'll talk," I said. "But first Ryan needs to understand the consequences of his actions. His wife already knows. So does HR." Ryan turned pale. You can't do that," he stammered. "You ruined me." "You ruined yourself," I said. Then I turned to leave, but not before delivering the final blow. "And Emily," I added, glancing back, "don't bother coming home. The locks are changed. Your things are in storage. I've already contacted a lawyer." She broke down in sobs. Ryan just sat there, stunned. I walked out and didn't look back. In the weeks that followed, Emily tried to reach out, voicemails, emails, begging for forgiveness. I ignored them all. Ryan's wife filed for divorce. He lost his job after HR reviewed the evidence. As for me, I started rebuilding one day at a time. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I hadn't chosen this pain, but I chose how I responded to it, and that gave me power. They made their choices. Now they have to live with them, and I'm finally free to live with mine. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.